Good evening. I'm Patricia Vallone with a CTV News update. It's day 9 of the Metro Access Workers strike. The workers from Amalgamated Transit Union 689 are protesting their contract with Transdev. The walkout started back on August 2nd after 2 months of failed talks. While negotiators are back at the bargaining table, union officials say the talks aren't going well.
First started the negotiations, we were negotiating a 3-year deal. The night just before the contract ended, they decided they want to go to a 1-year deal and still wasn't serious about wages. They've been having a little pressure from some of our political allies as well as WMATA to actually come to the table, and that's the only reason why they started changing up with some of their wages and things that they do want to come. We're not that far off right now, but there are some things that we just can't accept.
Union officials say they'll continue their strike until a fair contract is reached. Well, heavy rains dumped during a slow-moving storm last night turned streets into rivers in parts of Prince George's County. This was the scene in Riverdale last night as flooding forced water rescues in the area of Kenilworth Avenue and East-West Highway. Other areas that were hit hard include Bladensburg and Landover Hills. One woman says fast-moving waters nearly swept her away in her pickup truck.
I was screaming, I can't swim, I'm short, I'm gonna drown, please come and help me. Nobody could hear me because the glass was down. I was honking the horn before they could hear that I'm in the van.
And this was that same area today, but forecasters warn we could see severe weather in some parts of the county tonight. Well, last week, Congress passed the PACT Act, a new law that expands health care and benefits for veterans exposed to burn pits and other toxic substances. Today, we hear from an Army veteran who, after 4 tours of duty, developed serious health problems.
Anything that you see can be burned. Ammunition, petroleum.
Lieutenant Colonel Anne Marie Theriault did tours of duty in Bosnia, Afghanistan, and 2 in Iraq. The retired Army veteran says during each deployment, she and her colleagues had to breathe in the air of toxic burn pits, areas that military bases use for disposing of waste.
All you see in the morning is a haze of smoke.
And this is what you're breathing in?
That's what you breathe in.
It wasn't long before Theriault started having health problems.
The military just gave me antibiotics for urinary tract infections, and they just continued during deployments. By the time I got to Afghanistan, it was pretty much blood in my urine frequently, but they never diagnosed it. They just continued to give me antibiotics.
When she returned, a urologist finally determined the source of her issues.
That day, she said, you have cancer, without biopsy, without anything. It was considered stage 4. I basically had a tumor the size of my uterus and my bladder.
Most people who get bladder cancer are older men and smokers. At age 57, she started researching her disease and discovered that women are 10 times more terminal than men.
I had my bladder removed, female organs removed, 2 times the lymph nodes that the normal cystectomy gets, and I do not go to the bathroom the same as normal people, so I have what's called a new normal, and I have a bag.
For years, the VA has denied her claims, forcing her to use her own insurance and funds to pay for treatment. Meantime, she has watched several comrades in similar situations pass away before any military assistance was offered, appealing their cases while undergoing treatment for cancer. The Army vet says she's hopeful now that Congress just passed the PACT Act that assistance may be on the way.
I'm fighting to get the assistance, not necessarily for the compensation of it. I want it to be easier for other people.
Dr. James Dula with the Prince George's Office of Veteran Affairs says many vets don't get the treatment they need because they're afraid it might affect their promotions or future assignments.
When you get out, if it's not in your military records, it's been difficult to prove your case. So now, due to the PACT Act, it's called presumptive conditions. So now we can go back and reapply for some things that may be affecting you in civilian life because it's a presumptive condition of the burn pits in Agent Orange.
Now going into her 6th year of being cancer-free, Terrio says she intends to live her life to the fullest. President Biden is scheduled to sign the bill into law at the White House tomorrow, August 10th. Well, we now know the name of the Bowie man who was fatally shot late last night. The victim has been identified as 24-year-old Brandon Moore. Bowie police were called to the 6200 block of Gabriel Street yesterday evening. When officers arrived, they found Moore suffering from gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead on the scene. A $25,000 reward has been offered for information that leads to an arrest and indictment in this case. Meantime, authorities are investigating an incident in Upper Marlboro that left a man injured and a woman dead. It happened early today in the 12,500 block of Woodstock Drive, not far from Crane Highway. Investigators say the two were taken to a local hospital where the woman was pronounced dead and the man was being treated for serious injuries. Police have not yet released their identities. Anyone who may have information on the case is asked to call police. Well, here are the latest COVID-19 numbers for our area. The Maryland Department of Health has confirmed 1,730 new cases. The county's positivity rate is at 15.27%. 15 Marylanders have died of COVID over the past 24 hours. 643 are hospitalized. That's 39 more than yesterday. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone. Still to come, the pursuit of Black excellence with author Lenita Hostin. Stay with us.
My advice to all the fathers out there, they grow up way too fast for you to waste even a single precious moment.
Welcome back. Well, the family of an Eastern Shore teen who died in police custody reaches a $5 million settlement. 19-year-old Anton Black died in September 2018 after being restrained and tasered by police officers in front of his mother's house in Greensboro. An autopsy later showed Black died of cardiac arrest. The family filed a federal lawsuit in December 2020 alleging excessive force and racial bias led to his death and a cover-up. The case became a flashpoint for police reform. According to the ACLU, the settlement includes reforms requiring local police departments to overhaul policies and provide more transparency. As concerns about monkeypox cases grow, the county is gearing up to host a virtual town hall discussion about the virus. Dr. Ernest Carter, along with doctors from Maryland Department of Health, will participate in a town hall meeting on monkeypox tomorrow, August 10th. Here in Maryland, the CDC reports 215 cases of monkeypox. However, Carter says the county has the highest percentage of cases in the state, with about 75 as of yesterday. Carter wants residents to know that monkeypox does not spread like COVID-19.
Monkeypox, a lot of people have fear about monkeypox right now because, after coming off of COVID, everybody is really deeply concerned about monkeypox and how can I get it and is there a vaccine? And we just want to clarify those things for people. Monkeypox is not a very deadly disease. It has a less than 1% mortality rate because this is the Western African version. Now, the Central African version is much more deadly, but the version that's out there now that spread from that's primarily in the MSM community, men having sex with men community, but it can spread to anybody. But it's primarily that, and it spreads by contact.
The virtual town hall discussion is set for Wednesday, August 10th, beginning at 6:30 p.m. To join the event, visit the website on your screen. Award-winning student success strategist, author, public speaker, and more, Lenita Hostin is adding more to her plate with her new podcast. Excellence in Everything Live is dedicated to raising the bar of excellence for high school and college students. Hostin spoke with CTV News today about her podcast and her passion to help students.
Excellence in Everything Live is our weekly live stream to help those who love and lead teens, to help cultivate their interests, their natural skills and abilities, and then lead them into their ideal career paths. So we talk about all things building confidence, building their competence, which is their proficiency to do things exceptionally well, and then ultimately making them very competitive for today's job market. So the Pursuit of Black Excellence for Teens is really a career development workbook, but I can't call it that because no one would buy that. That's not sexy. But yeah, it's broken down into 3 areas. They're called collections. So the first collection is self-excellence, and that's just getting really clear about who you are, your innate skills and abilities, your inner critic. Very introspective. A lot of adults have shared with me they have not done this level of like self-reflection. And then it leans into community excellence, because once you have a strong sense of self, I feel you're most powerful by using those skills in your community. And then life excellence is the last collection, and that's just applying the skills you've learned in your community to do life post after high school. And so it's a pretty robust, culturally relevant tool that I think not only parents, but education leaders and community leaders will find valuable.
And you can tune into the podcast, Excellence in Everything Live, every Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. on YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook. You can also get a copy of her book at lenitahostin.com. Well, her music topped the charts with hits like Physical and You're the One That I Want. Pop star Olivia Newton-John has died. Her husband announced her death at their Southern California ranch yesterday on social media. It follows a long bout with cancer. In 2017, Newton-John announced her breast cancer returned and spread to other parts of her body after it had been in remission for 25 years. The Grammy Award winner also achieved fame on the big screen when she played Sandy in the film version of Grease. Olivia Newton-John was 73. Still to come here on the news, we are on the gridiron with the Maryland Terps. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. Well, Maryland Route 210 was shut down for several hours earlier today. North and southbound lanes were closed from Palmer Road to Livingston Road. Officials say a crash knocked down power lines, forcing them to shut down the highway. Now for a quick look into the world of sports, we turn to CTV's Laurencia Moden.
Thanks, Patty. Fans everywhere know the impact that Serena Williams has had not only on the tennis world, but the sports world overall.
Serena Williams!
Well, she has announced that she's evolving away from tennis. Although she did not use the word retire, fans can assume that after winning 23 Grand Slam titles, she deserves to turn her focus to other things. She wrote in an essay released by Vogue magazine titled, "Serena Williams says farewell to tennis on her own terms," and in her own words, that she's turning her focus to other things that are important to her. We wish Serena all the best in her future endeavors. Now, the University of Maryland football team expects this season to be one of their best, and a lot of that hope comes from the experience on the O-line. Despite the offensive line taking the longest to develop, this year their experience is unmatched, and coach Michael Loxley says that this unit is the most improved on the team.
This group has played a lot of football together. I mean, and we have a lot of interchangeable parts, which is what I love most. I mean, a guy like Spencer Anderson can play across the board from right tackle to left tackle to center to guard. We got fortunate that we were able to get through last year playing just 7 guys up front, and in a perfect world, you want to have 10 battle-tested guys. Now, the good thing about the group of 5 returning starters is that these guys have been through the tough times. So feel good that they will be able to take the experiences over the last few years, and I saw us get better with each year, and I think it's the most improved unit on our team.
And with players like Prince George's County native Spencer Anderson leading the way, this group is very valuable.
Me personally, I don't feel like there's anybody on this team or in the country that can play all 5 positions, and I can, but I'm not saying to brag, but I mean, I feel like there's nobody else that can add that value to this team or in the country, to any team, as a matter of fact, at a high level. So I would say value.
Moving on, last night in Birdland, the Orioles hit not 1, not 2, but 4 home runs in their 7-4 victory over the Toronto Blue Jays. Orioles manager Brandon Hyde says it's been a little while since they had a game like that offensively. That's all I have for sports. Back to you, Patty.
Thanks, Laurencia, for that report. And now we're going to get a check of your weather forecast. Tonight, scattered showers and thunderstorms, lows around 75 degrees. Tomorrow, showers and thunderstorms likely, highs near 91. Thursday, cloudy with possible showers, highs in the 80s. And Friday, sunny with highs around 81 degrees. And that is your CTV News Update. I'm Patricia Vallone. Have a great night.